Hey everyone, it's serotonin. I've just had a complete epiphany, and I want to share it with you straight away. This is a video that I've just been reviewing. I've been literally like the last little while, I've been spending so much time just watching these videos by YellowRoseforTexas. Um, and then there's this guy called Adam1414. He's been mirroring and also editing down some of the information into sort of smaller videos that are just a little bit easier to and quicker to watch. But he doesn't allow for comments, and so it's really hard to kind of share the information. And I don't want to step on anyone's toes because I can't get through to him to check about mirroring. So I'm just gonna, first of all, number one, I'm gonna credit him. So Adam1414, thank you so much for posting these extra videos with that are just sort of shortened and edited down. So what you're looking at here is footage from the Sechi camera. And so I'm going to leave the link to this video. I highly recommend you watch the whole video. I highly recommend you watch all of YellowRoseforTexas's videos. And if you want to see smaller pieces of the work, you can check out Adam1414, who does a lot of work of hers. He edits it in different ways. And so what you're seeing here, they're saying to us, I'm just going to find a bit of a different picture for a minute. Okay, so what you're seeing here apparently is a pole, a big sort of skewer almost, and this is, the Earth is right here. This, what you're seeing right here, seems to be the shadow of it against this backdrop, which is a fake universe, a fake sky. Okay, and apparently, according to these videos, this is, this is a little bit like what they're trying to just tell us is our fake universe. So this, but it's done in a holographic sense. And okay, this is the lantern in the center. This is the Earth right here on a pole. Okay, so this is a close-up of it. This is apparently what our Earth looks like. So it is globular, but apparently it's because we're encased inside this thing. Okay, and so it is apparently like there's some flatness to it, or there's, you know, we're inside a dome basically. So it's not discounting flat earth theory, it's just we're encased in something, which is possibly why people are just back and forth over this. Anywho, what really got me, and the whole reason I wanted to make this video, so I'm going to go back to this image. So it says here, when the Earth left the pole of the solar system orrery. So an orrery is this thing that we saw back in this thumbnail down here, this guy. So this is an orrery. Okay. So going back to this image here. And I highly recommend it. Adam1414 is recommending that you watch the video that YellowRoseforTexas made called The Lie NASA Told, the Imminent Demise of the NWO. It's incredible. I highly recommend you watch that too. I keep saying I highly recommend. Anyway, going back to this. Not that. This one. Okay. I was thinking for the last little while, and by little, you know, close to a year, I've been watching videos along with this sort of inquisitive community digging into history. And I have been a very big fan of Martin Liedtke, and he talked a lot about old books and, you know, mimetic illustrations and stuff, like really old stuff, where, you know, it looks like it's allegorical drawings, but there's a lot of mishmash of historical information in there, and so it puts into question pretty much everything. And one of the things that's an overarching theme that we see a lot, especially in religious and royal portraiture, is the orb and the scepter. And while I was watching this, it suddenly occurred to me, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks very much like an orb. So first of all, I'm seeing like a crucifix kind of a theme going on here. So, or an image, right? So there's a plane here, and then there's this sort of stick through. But then I got onto the idea of like, what if this is, because I'm like, I take all this information with a grain of salt. I don't know if you can tell that through the way I present stuff, but I do. And but I have very open mind, and I really am not I'm not attached to anything I've been told. So it helps me really navigate quite quickly through things. Anyway, it got me thinking about the orb and the scepter. And it got me thinking that this is the scepter, right? The stick with the orb on top, right? And the orb is when the Earth left the pole of the solar system orrery. And this is something that Yellow Rose talks about a lot. She says that the Earth can leave its pole and fly on these two things right here. Okay. She also says that they are called vase, this thing that we live on. And that's short for Vahana, I think it was. And then she put this, yeah, these Vahanas, okay. And this is a new, apparently, technology, which is far from new. And this is essentially what they're calling this. Yeah, they're calling it, okay, Vahana. And it's basically mimicking this very similar shape. And what I find very interesting about this is that it's actually Airbus who is making these. And I personally had a very prophetic experience with Airbus as a child. I got to, back in the day, you as a child could be invited into the cockpit to see the to see the view. And so my brother and I were invited in when I was about 4, and I got to see what a thunderstorm looked like from the top, and it basically looks like a very decadent ice cream sundae. It's very high up, and I don't recall if I saw curvature, so please don't ask, I was 4. But it was really a life-changing experience, and I got given a sticker, and I put the sticker on the inside of my closet, the closet door. And every summer we'd go to England and we would rent our home out to people for 2 months, basically, to look after the place. And when we'd come home, I was putting the sticker on the inside of the door, and a couple of, like, I don't know, maybe it was like the next day or the day after, I was going in there and I was playing around. I was looking at the sticker for some reason. And I found a box. And it was a strong box, and I still actually have the box. And it was filled with currency from all over the world and identification. And the guy's name was something or other Katz, K-A-T-Z. And there's quite a bit of ID, picture ID. And he was, probably in his 30s or something. And my parents really didn't make much of a big deal out of it. They were like, yeah, he was probably one of the tenants in the house or whatever. I was maybe 5. I thought it was the coolest thing in the whole world. I thought I had found a pirate treasure. I probably had. Anyway, so in doing this research, looking at the Yellow Rose videos, and she's talking about vase and brings up this particular craft, this particular make, and it's Airbus. Kind of blew my mind. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Sorry I rambled a bit at the end, but kind of interesting stuff, don't you think? Comments below. What do you think? Is the orb, let's go back to this, sorry guys. Is the orb, what do you think? Is the orb and the scepter depicting this process of the planet, quote unquote, is stationary or in flight? Anyway, Godspeed everyone.